that are going to help with that circulation and improve our health in any way that we can. There's one more thing that I wanted to make sure that I tell you, and you are in charge of your lymphatic health. There's no prescriptions, there's no surgeries, there's nothing that anyone else can do for you, but you can make an impact on your lymphatic health by taking healthy supplements to support a healthy body, and then also for doing skin brushing and some self-massage and using some essential oils that are real supportive of your lymph system. So let's get started.
Okay. So first of all, when we were practicing, Kathy and I said, I think we've got over 50 years. We're close to 60 years experience between the two of us.
So I've been doing this for 30, specifically in lymphatic massage.
Yes.
And you're 27?
And I'm 27 years doing sports injury massage, which a lot of injury is working with the lymphatic system. So we're trained differently, but we both really believe in the importance of the lymphatic system.
So you were saying that you've been practicing doing some of the lymphatic massage on yourself?
Yes, it's pretty interesting. So when we've been doing some of the things that we've been doing, I've noticed that I've done a couple videos and my skin on my face looks different than it did. I made a video last week and I was looking at myself. I thought, I can tell the difference. Yeah. And so I've been really paying attention to the brushing and making sure that my lymph is flowing well, and I can definitely tell the difference.
Yeah, it looks great. You look great.
So, thank you.
So I do want to say that since I've specialized in lymphatic massage, I will say that my #1 clients are estheticians, because they're actually trained in how much difference the lymphatic makes on your appearance. And so they do a lot of specialty lymphatic massage when you're having a facial. So with an esthetician.
Awesome. So we're going to go over several things, why the lymphatic is important. I think we've talked,
kind of just covered some of that.
Yeah, and an overview of the lymphatic system. So, you know, I guess the biggest reason that lymphatic is important, if we remember, you know, being sick as a kid and the back of your neck hurting, or when you had a sore throat, you know, they would talk about your lymph glands, and you made it.
And they're actually lymph nodes. So
yes.
you want to call them nodes because they're different than glands, but I think that's what we always called them as kids. But you know where those are. So directly underneath those are your thoracic lymphatic ducts. And so that's kind of will just lead into what I'm going to talk about, just a quick self-massage that you can do for yourself. You're going to start here with your thoracic lymphatic ducts. It's right underneath your clavicle.
Let's get through the other part
first. Okay, sure.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So just showing an overview and the immune system, because we're going to come to the oils. So, okay. So there's 70% of our immune system relies on lymphatic flow. That's pretty huge. And I loved what you said about the secret river.
Oh, right. So this Dr. Lemole talks about the lymphatic as a secret river inside the body. And it's secret because it collapses when you die. And so if they're in medical school, if they're studying a cadaver, they wouldn't be able to see the lymphatic flow or how it really works. But now with cameras that are more precise to see the body, they can visualize a little bit more. They're learning a little bit more about the lymphatic system. But otherwise, up until this time, it's pretty much been observation on people, you know, that are alive.
So we're still learning.
We are really still learning.
Yeah,
yes,
which is important. Okay. So this is just a few of the lymph nodes in the body.
See how it's drawn on there.
Okay. And now we can talk about some self-massage. So we have some oils that are good if you happen to have any of these around and would like to follow along. If nothing else, have Breathe. But we have grapefruit.
Let's have a little grapefruit.
Okay.
A little green mandarin. Let's see. You want to see green mandarin? It's that dark green. Goes running down my hand. It's very flowy.
Here, I'll
And
take,
then
I'll take some.
geranium.
Thank you.
We're gonna put geranium on too. And yeah, so we'll just kind of
So
rub it on.
in the summer season, why we're adding the green mandarin is if you're going to be out in the sun, you could substitute green mandarin for the grapefruit.
Right.
But putting the green mandarin in with this is a good thing too.
Yeah.
So,
So yeah.
and then
so-
cypress, we need our cypress chef.
Okay. All right, so then we start out with a little bit of oil. We're gonna rub our hands together.
Mm.
And then
Smells so good.
unfortunately, we won't be working on bare skin too much, but you're gonna start here in your thoracic area, right underneath the clavicle on both sides, wherever it's a little tender. It's right directly here, just a little off center towards the armpit on both sides. So a really simple massage that I do for myself is I reach in the armpits and then my thumbs are here. So my fingers are on my armpits, my thumbs are here, and I'm massaging both at the same time. So you're opening up your thoracic ducts, you're opening up your upper body lymphatic here in the armpit. That's where your main area of the lymph nodes are for your lymphatic, for your upper body. And so you're getting those all together at the same time. And it's so funny. One month or so, I decided I've got to show more of my clients about this. So everybody that comes, I'm showing them about this. And then I got a lymphatic treatment. My daughter's like, wow, your armpits are so much better. I'm like, well, I've been demonstrating every day. So I've been doing it more often. Anyway, so when you're feeling like you need to be a little more refreshed in the afternoon, this is just great because it gets some circulation going. Then the next thing you're going to do is you're going to bring over the shoulders to kind of a deep kind of flash over the shoulders, and that helps get with the circulation through the shoulders. And then we're going to pump up the neck towards the ears and then back down. And then if you need to, you can do a little bit of self-massage on the scalp to get that moving. And then that's it. You'll feel differently. I mean, if you're following along and doing this as I'm showing you, you probably will feel different already. But using the oils, opening things up, getting some circulation, it's just a quick pick-me-up to help yourself every day.
Well, and as Kathy said, we're responsible for our lymphatic. It doesn't move if we don't move it.
So you got to move your muscles. That's a great way of moving it. Bouncing on trampolines, those little mini tramps. Just exercise and then massage. Any massage addresses the lymphatic. So any kind of skin massage is going to help the lymphatic. There are specific people that do specific lymphatic massage and specialize in that. And I'm one of them. I use special techniques, and also I have frequencies. So
yes.
Yeah.
So you can make this you can put it in your hand like we just did, or you can create a massage blend with the grapefruit and the cypress and the geranium. I would really invite you to use the green mandarin. It's a powerful oil. And it was interesting because I said to Sandy when we were starting, we practiced beforehand and I was really not feeling grounded. I'm sure the weather isn't helping with anything. And I put that green mandarin on and it just settled me right down. And I felt it. It was really amazing and powerful. So creating a blend. We also have other kinds of habits. We're going to talk more about different essential oils applications, but we have other habits that we can do. And Kathy and I are both drinking the Recharge and being hydrated. And the Recharge is going to be something with the minerals that are in it that are really going to help our body be hydrated and hold on to hydration. And so the Recharge is something, if people, they always think, well, if they're swollen, they shouldn't be drinking. Actually, you need to be getting more so that you can move through the system. And so the Recharge would be a good thing to add. Incorporating that movement, yoga, walking, you talked about rebounding. And then we're going to cover dry brushing it a little bit.
Well, the basis of health is always start with your omegas, vitamins, minerals, and the greens as a huge bonus. And there's also some adaptogenic component to the VMG supplement that doTERRA has. So basic health in your body You always want to start with that because that's going to support everything that you're trying to accomplish in your health. And that's another thing that no one else can do for you. You have to be responsible for the choices you make and the things that you put in your mouth. And that when you're taking the supplements from doTERRA, you're really getting those basics of health.
Yeah. And the omegas are going to also help with the viscosity. You know, the omegas are good for our blood flow. And so the flow is also part of the lymphatic.
Mhm. The omegas, each of the fatty acids make cell walls for all the cells of your body. They're all made out of fatty acids. So the better quality fatty acids you have, and the more that you get consistently, the better cell structure you're going to have, which is so important for your health. You want to have a healthy cell structure.
Yeah. Yeah.
So be consistent about the taking your vitamins, minerals, and your omegas too.
Yes.
Gut health is huge. There's so much talk about it. I think it's one of the biggest things that people are becoming more and more aware of, and how much it helps your mental state. Our probiotics actually have the PB Restore have probiotics that are for your skin too. And so that's going to really help with your lymphatic and your skin brushing.
Yeah.
The reason why we talk about skin brushing is because the lymph is right underneath the skin. There's a lot of lymphatic fluid under the skin, and so we want to always stimulate that with brushing. What else do you want to say about the PB Restore, Julie?
Well, what it does for our immune system. And again, the lymphatic system is part of the secret river highway that helps flush things out of our body that shouldn't be there. And so the probiotics are going to be huge in supporting your immune system. They're going to help with reduction of inflammation. And, you know, if you're inflamed, then things aren't moving.
Mhm.
And so both the omegas are helpful with that, and then the PB Restore, and then just plain detox support to help everything move out. So, you know, if the river is moving and it reaches the gut after it's done all its work and it can't get out, that's not a good thing either.
You have to
So,
have good gut health, because ultimately the toxins that the lymphatic pick up are eliminated through the skin, through sweating, and then through your digestion. So you want to make sure that digestion is top notch.
absolutely.
So
Yep. Okay.
collagen is the structure of the scaffolding of the lymphatic. So you want to have really good collagen that you're consuming. That's another big buzz. I think almost everybody is taking a collagen supplement. Why not take the best? We have over at least 9 different collagens in the MetaPower. And so you're going to address that structure that you need for the lymphatic, and then also, of course, for beauty, for your appearance, you want lots of collagen too.
Well, and both the VMG and the MetaPower Advantage have the liposomal delivery of the vitamin C, and the vitamin C is again going to be so vital for our immune system. So these are hand in hand products for our health. And I would say if we don't have a healthy lymphatic system, our health is suffering, wouldn't you?
Totally.
Yeah.
You need vitamin C to be able to structure your collagen. So you want to utilize, and they do include the vitamin C. So it's wonderful that doTERRA has the liposomal vitamin C that your body really utilizes.
Yeah. No, it's awesome.
And if anybody ever wants to explain liposomal to you, ask them, because there is a really good reason why it's liposomal.
I think we've had a few explanations
Yeah,
on those. So
right.
thank you. Okay, so again, we went over a self-massage tip for our shoulders. Another great self-massage is our scalp, and a little bit of breathe
Yep.
on your fingertips.
Mhm.
And you want to get in the temple. And what we're going to do is just go through the scalp, and it's just moving your fingertips. Okay. And there's lymph throughout, and you really want to pay attention to the back. You can turn your head to the back of the neck here, and up in the scalp, this whole area behind the ear, and up into the scalp. And oftentimes that area can be tender.
Mhm.
And so just like the armpit might be tender, this back of the neck is so important. And I've noticed with the smoke that my lymph has been It's been
More congested.
more congested. So that's part of why I've been really practicing and put into use the things that were showing, because my body was really feeling almost like glue. I was having a hard time moving. And actually, I'm going to confess something. I had been taking my VMG and I had been a little more negligent on my collagen. And I have to say, I added it back full time, and it made a huge difference within 4 days in how I felt and my movement. So,
how one thing can make such a huge difference, but it really does. And sometimes going without it to really address your need is a good one to do.
And I know you really like Breathe because of the Bay Laurel, but Breathe is not something that you would necessarily think of with the lymphatic system, but the Bay Laurel is another great support for our lymph. So if you have areas where you're congested, using the Breathe is something that's very helpful.
So you could use that as a blend that's already prepared. You wouldn't have to make up the blend. You just get the Breathe blend, rub it on your thoracic ducts, go over your shoulders, in your armpits, and up your neck, back down, to get the Breathe on. And that's great. And then do your scalp.
Yes. The aroma touch technique, you could share with someone. So we also have, in our thumb, there's an area, and part of what Kathy goes over with the dry brushing is paying attention to our fingers. How many times don't your hands swell? And I know after I broke my wrists, my hands were swollen. And I use aroma touch a lot. Kathy uses a lot of Breathe, but in our practices, I was putting aroma touch on. And if we think about, I would say several of us that are here have either had a broken wrist or know someone who has. We're reaching that age where falls can sometimes create incidents. And remembering that part of that swelling is the lymphatic. And that's actually when I started going to see Kathy, was after I broke my wrist. I knew her, but I didn't go to her for lymphatic treatment.
It made a big difference.
And it made a huge difference. But aroma touch, or the aroma touch technique, is something, and the technique is very heavy on moving lymphatic. And
so if you're familiar with the aroma touch, if you're not, you can ask someone that's been in doTERRA for a while. They either have taken a training or they'll know how to get a training for you. Julie's a trainer, so
yes,
it's a great course.
Yes. Another application would be the Symphony of Cells. And that's a protocol that there's a book called the Symphony of Cells, and there is a specific lymphatic protocol for this. And again, it's an application that we put oils on the body, and it makes a big difference.
Did you want to read the oils that we use for the Symphony of Cells?
Sure.
Specific for lymphatic. It's a systematic set of oils you do in order, and an application. It's called the Symphony of Cells, but these are the oils.
So it starts with frankincense, and each of them have a purpose. So the frankincense is helpful in supporting cellular health and also reducing inflammation. Okay. Then aroma touch, which we just talked about, and that is going to have cypress in it. I think cypress is the first ingredient, actually. So it has a lot of cypress. Is going to help with the movement, stimulates lymphatic drainage, helps with circulation, reduces tension. Then tea tree is going to support the immune system and help cleanse the tissues, aiding the lymphatic system's role in fighting pathogens. Then oregano provides immune support and detoxification, helps clear lymphatic congestion, digests Zen. And that's one of our BOGOs, the Digest Zen Touch. But the purpose is supporting our gut health, reducing inflammation and gut-associated lymphoid issues, and helps, again, what we talked about the PB restore being helpful. The digestion needs to be supported also for a lymphatic. Then lemongrass supports lymphatic drainage, reduces fluid retention. It's a staple in lymphatic massage. Then the deep blue blend, and that's going to help with reduction of inflammation, and that will help with ease pressure on our lymphatic vessels. And so the end of that is the end of the symphony of cells. In the aroma touch, the end is always peppermint and orange. And so sometimes people may do a little combo of the two and add the peppermint and orange at the end. So that just helps with bringing a balance back to the body, and understanding that, you know, putting these on is something that will help support the body. Okay.
Excellent.
All right. Then dry brushing. And so why do you like to dry brush?
Well, I think the number one purpose is that my skin starts to look a little smoother.
Okay.
And I think that's really nice. You know, I'm over 70, so I have kind of areas of crepey skin. And if I get real consistent on skin brushing, it definitely improves the appearance. So, you know, our vanity does serve our health, doesn't it?
Well, and if you heard her say she's over 70 now, I think she looks fantastic.
Oh, thank you, Julie.
Okay.
I'm actually, this year, I will be closer to 80 than I am to 70.
Okay. All right. So now what we're going to do is have a dry brushing demonstration. And
we're just moving that. We're just adjusting the camera a little bit here. So,
okay. You're gonna, you're gonna shut the door.
And so Julie is going to read, okay, so if you go to my website, kathyjoy.com, so KATHYJOY.com, kathyjoy.com, go to your to my website and request a lymphatic report. The last 2 pages of the lymphatic report have skin brushing instructions. So then you'll be able to print it up, or you'll be able to just view it however you want to, because of that. So I will email you the report when you request it. And then Julie's going to read each of the steps that I have on that instruction. And then I'm going to show you what that means when she says the instructions. So, all right, here I am in the corner. You might need to move it just a little bit more.
Which was
that way. Towards the corner. Towards the door. Okay.
And do you want it down?
No, I think it's good.
Okay.
It's good. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, we
All
should ask Sandy, can you see me okay? Yeah, okay. She said yeah.
Okay. All right. So to get started, the first sequence is the armpit region.
Okay.
And you're going to go 7 clockwise and then 7 counterclockwise strokes.
And then you're going to repeat on both sides, 7 clockwise, and there's circles, and then counterclockwise. All right.
Then the chest region.
Just start in the midline.
Above the breast, brush 7 times from center of breast to armpit.
And
Then below the breast, using upward curving strokes from midline to armpit.
And then that's both sides.
Yes.
2, okay.
Then the sides of the upper torso.
And then we're going to go here.
Yep.
To the armpit.
7 times from waist to armpit.
If you can't remember exactly, just remember that you're always going sort of towards the heart, towards the armpit, or towards the groin area, which is on either side of the pubic area.
Then upper back region.
Okay.
From both sides of the spine, brush 7 curved strokes outward towards armpit. Mm-hmm. Increase pressure on arc near armpit.
So there's three upper back, there's three upper back regions, the highest, the middle, and the lowest of the upper back. And that's both sides. Okay.
Then the neck and throat regions.
Oh, so just so you know, I'm doing it on my clothes, but you're not gonna do it with clothes on. You're going to have bare skin. So this will all be bare skin.
Okay, so
The-
no, now it's neck and throat.
Yeah. Mhm.
Place
So-
brush just below junction of neck and shoulders, brush outward and upward from spine over shoulder.
Mhm.
And do this 7 times.
Mhm.
Then along base of neck,
Mhm.
then downward over collarbone to
Mhm.
just below the soft hollow at base of throat.
Yep, so you're gonna come like this around to here.
Okay.
Mhm.
7 strokes on each side, and as you noted, Kathy turned her head the opposite way from where she was stroking, so you don't run into your chin as you're doing the strokes. Okay, next our facial region.
Okay. I have a separate brush that I use for my face. You don't have to do that, but I use this on my feet, so I kind of want a different one for my face.
Okay. Use 7 stationary circle strokes with the pressure exerted only on a downward arc.
Mhm.
Follow this sequence over the chin, between the lips and the nose,
The nose,
side of face,
side of face,
your cheeks,
cheeks,
then on the nose,
oh, on the nose, on the top of the nose.
yep, then your ears and the temples,
They're all circles.
forehead. And then you just work your way around to the other side,
Yeah,
correct?
and then you do the same with the other side. Yep.
Yes. Okay. All right. Next is the scalp region.
Okay.
Brush firmly from base of skull over top of head to front of hairline. Do this for 15 seconds. Brushing top, sides,
Sides.
back of skull. Okay.
Mhm.
Then brush the entire scalp vigorously for 15 to 20 seconds using small circular strokes.
This is great for the hairdo. These are all little circles I'm doing, if you can't tell. Okay.
Okay, then brush upward from temple to top of head 7 times. Okay, then from top of ear, brush top and sides of skull backward and downward. This reminds me of when grandmas would comb their hair.
Oh, yeah,
each
100
night.
times,
My
yeah.
grandma, I remember watching her
Yeah.
do this. Okay. All right, so now our finger and hand region.
Okay. So that's a real to and fro on each finger.
That's using vigorous to and fro motion, brushing entire finger surface thoroughly. Then brush entire palm using firm circular strokes. Brush back of hand from fingertip to wrist 7 times.
And round the wrist.
And that's
Another to and fro. around the wrist.
yeah, clockwise and counterclockwise or
Mhm.
to and fro.
Mhm.
Okay. And then do both hands.
Yeah.
So
I'll just kind of quickly do it, but you just so you can
making
see
sure
it.
you're balanced.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Next is the groin.
Okay, okay.
So start on the left side.
Okay.
Make 7 circulatory strokes with pressure only on side toward center of body.
Right. So you're gonna kind of come from the side of the upper thigh where it meets the groin area. And you come towards the pubic area, and they're little half circles kind of that you're gonna be doing. You put pressure as you're going towards the center, and that's on both sides. Can you see, you can see it, okay, good, all right.
Okay. So next is the abdominal region, and now this is best to do lying down, but that's difficult for us to do, so we're demonstrating standing up.
And I usually do standing up, but you know, it's best, it's kind of good, better, best. And you know, if you don't have time to do 7 of everything, if you just go over everything, maybe 2 or 3 times and just get through it real quick, if that's what you have time for, that would be good. And then better is, you know, to do it all completely, thoroughly, okay.
Okay, so start at navel and spiral outward with larger and larger circles in clockwise direction. Then spiral back down inward with smaller and smaller circles.
So you're doing little circles and they get a little bigger and then they get a little bigger and then you work your way back in to the navel again. And it's always the same direction on the abdomen. You go upright, like you're an upright person, you always go upright on the right side and then down on the left. So it's that motion, and that's to follow the line of the colon. That's the circulation of the colon.
Okay. Next is the buttocks region. Use firm upward and outward strokes.
So you're going to start along the spine and then work around to the groin area. Okay, we got 7 of those.
Yep.
And
And
then you do
begin at the, yeah.
Then you do the middle of the buttocks region and then the bottom. So it's 3 areas on the buttocks region: top, middle, and bottom. 7 strokes each on both sides. Top, middle, and bottom. 7 strokes each.
Then the lower and mid back region.
Oh, okay.
So from lower right back,
Oh, that's right.
okay, to bottom of shoulder blades. So it's nice to have a long handle.
Yep,
with
yep,
this.
yep, that's
Okay.
what you have the long handle for.
Yes.
And that's 3 regions too. So you start close to the spine and then another, the middle area, and then the outside. And you do the same on both sides.
So if we think about the aroma touch, there's 5 zones that we're doing there. Okay. All right, then the foot region.
But
So we're going to brush the sole of the foot using vigorous and firm circular strokes
so
in
yeah,
the sequence.
there's lots of circles on the bottom of your feet. You do the back of the toes, the ball of the foot, the arch of the foot, and then the bottom of the heel, and then make sure you get the outside of the heel, and then you're going to brush the top of the foot, each toe individually back to and fro like you did on your hand, and then the top of the foot very vigorously, and then around the ankle like you did the wrist, to and fro around the wrist. Then we're going to the thigh, right?
Yep.
And so you're going to start, and there's also 4 sides to your thigh. So it's the sides 7 times from the knee to the hip, the front 7 times, inside of the thigh, and the back of the thigh. And then you do the same on the calf, inside, top, outside, and back of the calf.
Okay. All right.
I think we're done.
I think we're done with that part. Okay.
Yeah, very, very refreshing and great for your circulation.
Okay, so if you want to sit back down,
Yep.
I'm gonna.
Okay.
Okay, so we'll see if that gets us centered.
So you want to work on your lymphatic because it's going to smooth your skin, it's going to help your immune system, and it's going to improve your circulation. And so you're going to feel more vibrant and more youthful if you have real good circulation. And it's wonderful for your health in so many ways. Okay, so we're going to have time for questions, but I think we're going to do that after the recording, right?
Correct.
Okay.
Yes. So if you want to talk a little bit about this book, Kathy, I think that book
Okay.
is
So I
something that-
used this book for reference when I wrote the report. It's one of the references I use. I also used Dr. Burkowski's lymphatic massage book for reference and a couple other things. This is an interesting book. It's written by a medical doctor. And whereas Dr. Burkowski uses more the Chinese medicine, sort of, or the Chinese pressure points of the body. And so just combining all of that information to come up with a good flow for the lymphatic.
And it's Gerald, I'll put it in the chat.
Yeah,
Gerald
Gerald
Lamole.
Lamole, yeah. Lymph and longevity. Interesting. Lots of benefits to lymphatic. And if you're having lymphatic challenges, it's always good. He talks about dietary things you can do to improve your lymph too. And of course, we have the added advantage of lymphatic support through essential oils.
Yeah.
And also our supplements have essential oils in them. So we get the benefit there too. We get better absorption, and they're more powerful because of it.
So something that I'd like to talk about when you were doing the clockwise motion on the stomach. I'm an infant massage instructor. And one of the things that they taught us for infant massage was if the child is constipated, that you first go backward and then go forward to get it moving. So if someone is doing the brushing, you want to go right to left, but I would add that in something like this, if you have a hard time having a moving experience, use some Digest Zen on your belly, also on your left leg, on the outside from the knee to the hip, the IT band. If you're having a difficult time moving, it's up for constipation and down for diarrhea is what we learned. And so what I teach people is
when you're rubbing that left IT
when
band.
you're rubbing, yes. So even with the brushing, if you would like to be mindful with your brushing, and if someone is having a difficult time with movement, putting it on the low back when they're doing the buttocks one also.
Oh,
because
the Digest Zen.
Yes, the Digest Zen, because that was something else they taught us, is that you go, it was 21 sides on each buttocks from the outside or from inside to the outside to get it to that it would relax so they could move. And using, especially because we need to have our colon moving for our lymphatic to work well, using the Digest Zen in that way would be something that would be very helpful to support that.
Great, thanks for that tip. That's great.
Okay. All right. I think we kind of rushed through a little faster than we thought, but our part of the presentation is done. So if you want to finish up, Sandy, then we can do the Q&A after.
Absolutely. When I'm done, you may want to look in there. No, there's quite a few questions in there.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. Now we're going to ask that you, if you haven't already, join the Discovery Central's Facebook group. You'll see there. I have folks often ask, where do I find the recording? What about upcoming classes? Check in the chat. Kayla, while we were on, got the image from Gabriella. So the next class image is in there at 7:37. I don't like to dig around in Discovery Centrals and try to look for the recording or is it out there. I love that they put it in the email and they send it to me, as well as reminders throughout the week. So not too many. I would say 2 or 3, including the recording that I get from them in a week. So well worth joining the email list, and that is bit.ly/email list DE for Discovery Essentials. And then when you're done tonight, make sure within the hour that you check your progress toward graduation first. And you can either click on the QR code or bit.ly/grad progress 2025. You may be close. I'm not sure where you're at with that. And then complete the form. If you forget, we're sorry. That's just the way it goes. But bit.ly/continuing ed 2025. We'd love to get these graduation gifts in your hands. Again, there's a number of amazing classes in the permanent one. Please check that out as well. And if you are in your 10th, complete your 10th class tonight, you fill that out and say, yes, I'm graduating, and you can pick 2, or don't forget about the teachable courses. Those are worth $97, much more than the oils are worth. So a great way to get some free education as well. 3 ways to purchase some: retail, wholesale, and below. And we would love everybody to purchase their wholesale, below wholesale. And that is by, I just was talking to somebody this week, and they were trying to decide if they needed the BOGO box or not. I said, do an inventory. You probably will buy all the oils that are there anyway, and then you feel and plan on gifting others to somebody or a new customer or whatever it might be. So give a few of those away. It's amazing, but check your inventory, and chances are the oils that are in the BOGO box are things that you probably will need because they're all very popular. Here's a few more of the kits. And again, when you purchase a kit, regardless if you're a customer or not, you're going to get them below wholesale. And that's something I absolutely just love, even if it's the Metal Power kit. So just a few more options right there. Again, there's that kit. Great way to save some money. And if you're just getting started and you want all of the oils, look at that, $865. We want to thank you so much for joining us tonight. Enjoy doTERRA's wonderful oils, a true gift of the earth. My contact information is on the bottom. Kayla will also put it in the chat. And feel free to reach me with questions. I am booking in October, I believe, right now. And I'm waiting to get a date committed from Dr. Hill and a few other doctors out there. But we're beyond thrilled that we got Lauren coming up here soon as well. So take care, everyone. We're going to do the drawing here in just a minute. And that is lemongrass. So I'm going to stop sharing.
Recording stopped.
That's a good oil for tonight.
Yeah.
I figured so. Julie,
Yeah.
what number do you want to pick from 4 to 100?
What do you
7.
All right.
I was gonna say 8. 7 or 8.
Ben is 7. Ben, Huppert, Hubert. Please, Kayla will put my phone number in there. Chat in the chat, and then just email me or text me your contact information, and we'll get that shipped out tomorrow. So congratulations, Ben. And Kayla stopped the recording so we can start with the questions.
Well, the first one I'm seeing is work towards the heart. Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Or, this area right here, which is right by the heart. So,
yes, you can use Aroma Touch. What were the oils? They were grapefruit or green mandarin. If you're going to be in the sun, use the green mandarin. You could do both grapefruit and green mandarin, geranium and cypress. What kind of brush, Kathy?
Oh, it's a dry skin brush, but it could be called a back brush. But if you look for a dry skin brush, I got a bunch at Five Below. It's a discount store that we have in Burnsville, and they had them in their spa. They had some spa products, and they had the lymphatic brushes. So yeah, it's a natural bristle, and this one is wood with natural bristle. But you want to make sure it's a natural bristle. Thanks for asking.
The camera was bothering me. Sorry. I've noticed under my right knee swelling, and it's been itchy. I've had veins stripped at 45 years. I'm now 64. And up and down. So I read these are lymphatic points.
For just manual massage, just kind of cup behind the knee. So let's say this was the back of your knee. I'm showing the inside of my arm here. Just kind of cup like that with your hand. That helps too. That helps the circulation behind the knee, and that helps the whole knee area. So you, cupping or light massage over the back of that knee You can do heavier massage above and below it, but when you're right behind it, right behind that joint, you want to be rather gentle. Because of all the blood vessels that go through there, but just you can massage deeper above and below, but right through there, just kind of either cupping, or you're just patting, or you just do a light massage in there around the knee. But just do the overall skin brushing, because if you have stagnant lymphatic in your lower extremities, you probably have some stagnant lymphatic everywhere else. So just do the whole system of skin brushing. Start up here and then work your way through the rest of your body. And that's going to be the very best for you, because it's, you want to think about your body as, you know, one whole system. And so if you're stagnant someplace, you're probably stagnant other places. So just work your whole body. And if you have to do it quick, where you're just doing a few strokes in each area rather than seven clockwise, 7 counterclockwise, just do a few of each, you know, 2 clockwise, 2 counterclockwise, whatever you have time for, but just make some time to do it. And daily is best, or every other day, whichever you can. And yeah, my lymphatic report, you can request it, and it also explains some more things about the lymphatics, so it gives you a little deeper understanding.
If you can find someone in your area that does lymphatic work, I would suggest that you try, because it's hard to work on your legs yourself. I had someone in last week that had several surgeries on her legs, and it was pretty amazing how much they changed just in one treatment. So if you can find someone that does lymphatic work in your area, that would be something I would suggest also.
And remember, any massage is going to help the lymphatic, any massage, but having a specialized lymphatic massage is more beneficial. But even just a regular massage helps the lymphatic.
I went to Minneapolis School of Bodywork and Massage, and it's no longer open. Where did you learn?
I went to the Luyan Institute in San Francisco, and they're also no longer open, but I took my specialty training for the lymphatic with the machines that I use frequencies. I took that in Phoenix with Michelle Meyer, and she's not teaching anymore either. So, but anyway.
we keep talking that maybe we should teach, so we'll see what comes from that. Okay, that would help with snoring. Well, it would help if there's a thick neck. Yes.
The one thing that really helps with snoring is doing the digestive stuff, the PB Restore and the Digestin. Anytime your digestion's working better, there's going to be less snoring.
Yeah. Talking about removing the hands from the head. So if you're massaging your own scalp, I don't know if you ever heard that you're not supposed to remove both hands at the same time.
No, I haven't ever heard that.
I've never heard that before. So when we do the ears in the aroma touch technique, then it's supposed to be one and the other. But you know, if you're working on your scalp, I guess it's kind of a natural feeling to do. So if there's something,
I would say it's a personal preference. If you prefer to just do one hand at a time, sure.
Yeah. Joe, so if oregano is too strong for you, you could leave it out. I wouldn't worry about it. If you have the Symphony of Cell book, I don't happen to have it handy right with me now. There are substitutes, but I think they're going to be probably still more hot oils. So
there are substitutes. Just look in the back of the Symphony of Cells book, or
Kathy, it's thyme, basil, and cumin in that order. For
Basil.
Oregano, first sub is a thyme, second is basil, and third is cumin.
Yeah, I would do basil.
Basil would be the most gentle.
Yeah.
But you use carrier oil on the skin before that, for sure.
Yeah.
On all those.
So neuropathy is it's different than your lymphatic. But if you've got swelling, there can be then an irritation. So could it help with neuropathy? Yes.
Mhm. When you have, because it reduces swelling. When you get your lymphatic moving. So all that fluid buildup, that's lymphatic fluid.
Okay.
Another thing that really helps with swelling is staying hydrated. I can't say enough, you know, drink your electrolyte drink.
Yeah.
Because that's going to really help with swelling.
It's interesting. One was starting on left and then another was starting on right. So that's why you want to have the directions.
Yeah.
Interesting though, for the face, you always say start the right side for the right temple to help for the face is working from the right side first.
Mm.
So
the order isn't as specific. I mean, it's in the directions to do an order. But if you're doing it, don't worry if you've done something in the wrong order or something like that, or if you've done the left side before the right or that kind of thing. Just keep doing it.
Yeah.
And the more practice you get, the faster you'll get at it. And I can do my whole body and scalp and everything, just like we showed 7 times, all this repetitions and everything. I can do it in about 10-12 minutes.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. There's a question about combining the Symphony of Cells protocol in one bottle. No. And
it's
here's
layered.
it's the layered effect. So the inflammation needs to be reduced first. Then, you know, the purpose of each of them, they work best and you will get the best benefit layering them. There are some things we can blend, and doTERRA has made great blends for us. And there are sometimes you can blend things, but when it comes to a protocol, just lay your bottles out. You don't have to have someone do them for you. You can lay your bottles out and have them all ready, and you can put them on. What I teach people to do is you put it on the back of your neck, on your shoulders, then you rub it just like how Kathy was with the brush. You rub as far as you can on your spine, your low back, over your buttocks, and then your feet. And put each of those oils on in that way.
Yeah.
So my
And
sister,
always smell them. Remember
Yeah.
to always smell them first.
yeah.
Mhm.
So my sister, my goodness, this is going to be probably 14 years ago already. Her son was having a lot of respiratory and other health issues. And she had an oil protocol that we had come up with for her to use on him. And life is busy when you have a toddler, and he didn't necessarily like to sit still. And she thought that it would save time if she put all of those oils together. And she did. And she called me and we were talking, and she said, you know, those oils aren't working anymore. And I said, what do you mean? She said, well, he's starting to have XYZ happen again. And I had just taken a training for my final certification to be an AromaTouch instructor with Dr. Hill. And they had talked about at this training how people had taken the AromaTouch protocol and put it all together. And I believe they had done a study, and Dr. Lynn, if you want to collaborate this with me, but they had done something where they showed the efficacy of the oils in the body separately layered and put together in a roller bottle. And I can tell you, you never want to separate those oils. There is a purpose to layering.
You want to.
It was a huge difference.
She means
So-
you don't want to combine the oils. You
Yeah.
said separate.
Oh, yeah. You do not want to
You want
combine
to keep
that.
them separate.
Yeah.
It'd be like, okay, so think of each oil as giving a message to your body. Okay, so it's giving a message. It's going, okay, we're going to get started. And then you need that message. And then it says, okay, now we're going to address this system, and your body needs that message. And then we're going to address this system, and your body needs that message. But if you try to do that all at once, it'd be like putting all the words on top of each other. Your body just doesn't understand it. And you wouldn't, like your ears wouldn't be able to, your brain wouldn't understand it if all the words were said at the same time. And so think of it as each one of them is giving your body a message of support in a different way. And it communicates. And aroma touch is really good at communicating messages. Because I've thought about it when I do aroma touch. Sometimes I do little affirmations with each of the oils, just things that have come to mind. And they really do, each of the oils do communicate something.
Yeah. Yeah. So there are certain places we don't make shortcuts.
Yeah, that's
So,
one. Yep.
okay. So on average, how long does this take? So what, 10 minutes?
Yeah, like I said, it takes me 10, 12 minutes now. If I'm feeling this kind of a little sluggish, it might take 15, but don't let that stop you. Like if you only have 5 minutes, then do what you can with 5 minutes. Just go once over every area that way. And then, yeah. So,
And then what time of day is best? Whenever you
well,
can do it, right?
It's suggested whenever you can do it. Yeah. And whenever you like to do it. It's suggested doing it in the morning before a shower. But I like to do it in the sauna at night, and then I sauna and shower. So I do the dry brushing. I get in the sauna when it's cold. I do the dry brushing, and by the time I'm done dry brushing, the sauna is warmed up. Then I break a sweat, and then I'm done. So you can combine things too.
Okay. So the next question is,
And you all know for sure that you're doing this on bare skin. So that's just something I wanted to tell you.
Yeah.
Again, because I know I mentioned it, but I want to make sure you remember.
yep. So then the bristles, I mean, you buy the brushes for dry brushing, right?
Right, exactly, for dry brushing, and that's what you use it for, and you don't do it wet. Like once you start to sweat, that's not dry brushing anymore. So get your dry brushing in. If you're gonna do it in sauna, get all your dry brushing in before you sweat, because then you're not dry, and it's a different stimulation on your body.
Yeah. And then do you wash these ever?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah, they're washable.
Okay. And you just use like some on guard
Just
then,
like you would any hairbrush or anything like
Okay.
that, whatever you want to use.
Okay.
But sure, you could use the on guard.
Okay.
Mhm.
So someone asked if it's better to do with your skin wet or dry. It's called dry brushing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes, so dry brushing.
Yeah, thank you for asking that. That's really important.
Yes. Okay. Da, da, da.
All questions are good questions, right?
Yes, absolutely. So then someone's talking about using the oregano touch instead.
Yeah, that's right.
So that could be not as strong.
I even kind of hide my oregano kind of back so that somebody doesn't accidentally pick it up and, use it, because I remember being so excited about oregano that I got overzealous and I used it without diluting it. And you learn really quickly that that's not what you do with oregano.
Yeah.
And also lemongrass is very warm. You may be able to get by with using lemongrass neat a little bit, but if you keep doing it over and over, you may end up with dermal sensitivity with lemongrass. So always dilute lemongrass too. You want to be able to use it. And if you start getting a dermal sensitivity because you did it, because you used it neat, just always dilute the warmer oils like that. And of course, like cinnamon and clove, all the hotter oils, always be sure to dilute.
Yeah. Will dry brushing help with vein insufficiency? So I'm going to say there are things that, support the veins. Now, if you're having swelling and it's being even more compressed. So looking at, again, the omegas, the cypress, Metapower is actually a really good oil also for moving fluid. I forgot to mention that.
Right. And that's good for cellulite.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So the Metapower would be something. So looking at oils and supplements that are good for the blood, and viscosity. So again, the omegas, the Advantage would be helpful. The collagen could be something, but that would be, looking to help support internally, and then making sure that your external isn't swollen and compressing it more. So the dry brushing could help with that.
You're not going to be doing real deep on brushing. It's pretty much just a brushing movement. So it's not like you're going to be really breaking up your anything in there. It's just that it gets it moving, and then it just that flow helps break things up. So I'm just thinking of if you have if you had veins or something showing, you can go over them lightly with the brush. So you wouldn't have to be concerned.
It would always be light.
But then it's light over those
Yeah.
veins, where you have exposed veins. So just go lightly over those.
Um,
Because you're brushing the skin. You're not trying to do a deep massage with your brush.
I'm not familiar with sonic vibration. Are you?
Well, sonic vibration sounds like sound, right? Isn't that what sonic
Yeah,
is? Sound.
I'm not sure what you're asking.
So what's the question?
Is sonic vibration good? I don't understand the question, I think. So
Yeah.
if you're still on, can you explain? Okay.
We can move on, and
Yeah.
then if you want to elaborate, you can.
So it isn't uncommon to retain more fluid on one side than the other.
Right, that's not uncommon.
And so if you're doing the dry brushing, you've probably had injury on that side. I mean,
Mhm.
typically, and we may not know how or why the injury happened.
Right.
And I'll just say this, it is not uncommon at all for people to have that. I would say pay particular when you're doing the dry brushing, really pay attention to the groin area
Mhm.
so that things can move up.
Yep.
And you want to be able to give it that ability to flow up and down. The other thing I would think about doing is lay with your, if you can't get up off from the floor, lay on your bed and put your butt up right against the headboard of the bed and put your legs up against the wall. Or if you can lay on the floor, like elevate and do that for 10 to 15 minutes and see if that's something that could help.
Do you want to repeat the question for people that don't know what the
So
question was?
it's that this person retains a lot of fluid on the left foot, ankle, calf. And first of all, why would that be? So, I guess your body history, we don't, but my guess would be something happened.
Mhm. And it could have been something that happened when you were younger. There's scar tissue in there.
Yeah.
We don't really know either.
Yeah.
But that's usually what happens is scar tissue ends up building up and it kind of blocks the flow. But doing the brushing is going to make a difference on helping that flow.
Well, and occasionally people are born with, different,
Mhm.
our bodies are different.
Yeah.
So, that's it. I without knowing more, that's
And you can consult a massage therapist too.
Yeah.
If you have someone, and ask them to help work on that for you.
Julie, the person that asked that question is no longer on for Sonic.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay,
Thank you.
Yep.
Okay. I'm trying to think if I don't know if I see any more questions.
Is there anything else that someone wants to ask before we go?
There is someone on that's on the telephone. If you wanted to unmute your phone, feel free to ask a question. I always want to make sure that those people that can't submit anything have a chance as well.
So do you want to show the dry brush for the face that they're asking about?
Yeah, it's right there.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's just a little one.
It's just a smaller one, and it's a natural bristle brush that is just smaller.
And do they have to be circular?
No,
Okay.
they don't have to be circular.
It just has to say it's for the face.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, it doesn't have to say it's for the face. I just have one distinctly different for the face because I want to do my face separate than my feet. So yeah, any brush You could get 2 of these if you wanted to have a separate one for your face.
Yeah, you just
2
don't
of the
want to
same,
rub.
and then just leave the handle off the one you use on your face, and then you'd know that's the one for your face. So, yeah.
Julie, there's one more question that came in on the bottom, and then I think somebody got their hands raised, but the
Okay,
chairperson.
Yep, I'm not done yet. So creepy
Okay.
skin.
Oh, what's the question? Does it help?
Does it
skin?
help for creepy skin?
Yes, it definitely helps improve crepey skin. So I would say if you did it for a week, you should take a picture of your skin before you start, and then a week later, take another picture of your skin, and you will definitely see a difference. 1 week of skin brushing. And that's, going over it, the recommended number of times, 7 times over the area.
So if the person lives close by their mother, they could do the brushing. You don't do it over the area where it weeps. I would
What's the
say,
question?
so it's, my mama had an injury as a child, one leg, knee, always swelled. She's now 80 and has been worse. So first of all, as we age, swelling gets worse. Our heart has to work harder. So thinking about things that would support the heart, like the omega and the VMG, I would definitely say the Advantage.
I would say the collagen for sure,
Yeah.
because you make less collagen as you age. And one of the things that supports the movement of your lymphatic system is your collagen. And it really helps with the skin too. So
Yeah.
I would really recommend the collagen product.
And I would actually take the MetaPower capsules, because they are really good for helping flush things out, and they're
The
going to
soft
help
gels.
clear your, they'll help clear your system.
They have all that grapefruit in there, and it's really good for helping cleanse.
Yeah. I know we're out of Zendocrine right now, but Zendocrine would probably be something that would help also
The detoxification.
for the detox.
packets.
Yeah, maybe add fiber. Be drinking fiber, things that are going to help clear the system inside too. I have PPMS, which is on my left side. I don't know what that is. I don't know what PPMS is. Is Tracy still on? Okay. Can you explain what that is, Tracy? You're muted. Oh, there you go.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay.
It's primary progressive MS, love. MS,
No.
multiple sclerosis.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So that would be something that, moving your lymphatic, anything you can do to help with movement is going to support that. Yes.
Getting healthier.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm I was told I'd be in a wheelchair in a year in the beginning of 2017, and that's when I was introduced to doTERRA. So I'm not. I'm doing amazingly. So
great job. Great job. Yeah, anything
Keep
you can
working
do.
on your health. That's wonderful.
Yes.
Mhm.
So what are
Thank
you
you.
doing now?
now, I had to finish work. I was a tertiary educator.
No. What doTERRA products are you taking now? Sorry.
I'm the lifelong vitality supplements, because we don't have. I'm in New Zealand, so we don't have the VMG yet. I taking the PB Assist.
Good.
Terrazyme, because I've got a terrible bowel, like you were talking about. So, I'm also the MetaPower system.
Yeah.
And I've got rid of all the toxins in our home, so everything is zero tox. So as far as cleaning products, skincare, I've got a bike that I ride. I can walk probably 15-20 minutes, a good walk.
Wow.
Good.
Well, good for you.
Yep,
You're
good
doing
for
all
you.
the right things.
Yeah. And it
And
was
we all
me that
have to-
asked about in front of the knee. I've just noticed it's come up as itchy and swelling. So thank you for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Good luck.
And the
You-
other thing I would invite you to look at is, do you have the emotions book?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
Yeah.
I would, like get the book and open it, and whatever page you open it to, look at which one speaks most to what you're feeling, and really support your emotion in what you have going on. Okay.
Any kind of chronic illness, it's so good to support your emotions because
Yeah.
there's a lot, you have a lot more
Yeah,
involved.
and this journey, being a teacher, is helping me immensely because a love of helping others, because I know what it's done for me.
Oh,
Okay,
that's great.
awesome.
So satisfying. It just makes you feel so much better when you can help other people.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Thank
And I
you.
love that doTERRA empowers us to and pays us to help other people too.
Yeah,
It
yeah,
gives you a reason and support.
yeah. Sadly.
All right.
Sadly, so many people, even in my MS support group, don't see the benefits because it's not official.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Mm,
Yeah.
Yeah, you just
Well-
have to find the people that are open.
Yeah.
yeah. Mhm.
Yeah. Exactly.
Thank you. Thank you
yeah.
very much.
Well, thank
Yes,
you
thank
very
you.
much.
Okay, someone is asking to do the arms crossed
Oh, sure.
exercise again.
Okay, so you're gonna cross over, you're gonna put your fingers in your armpits, right in here, and find the area that's it's kind of more towards the front of the armpit. It's kind of tender in there.
So it'll be
You'll feel it if you kind of dig around in your
It's
armpit, you'll feel it.
in,
And then put your thumbs up here underneath your clavicle. So you're gonna be massaging up here and then reaching into your armpit and squeezing in there too. So you're getting, okay, so I basically want to do as much as I can at the same time. So this is like multitasking. So we're crossing over, we're getting both areas at the same time. If you don't want to do it that way, you can do one area at a time. But I like to do everything, like let's get her done. And so I'm doing both sides at the same time and then reach over the shoulders and go across like this, and then up the neck and then back down. And this is also going to help those shoulders from being so tight at the end of the day, because that helps get some blood flow and lymphatic flow in the shoulders. And then if you want to, you can go over your scalp too, and then back down. Now that's just like a afternoon refresher or a morning refresher, or whenever you feel like you've been sitting too long, or you need to get that lymph moving, or just be sure and do it once a day. Just kind of put it as a healthy habit that you do every day. And then if you can incorporate an essential oil with it, that's great. If you can't, if you're working in an office where a whole bunch of people are around and you can't incorporate an essential oil into it, then that's fine. But just do the massage. And so, yeah, that's something you can do every day. The other thing you can do every day is make sure that you are hydrated and then support it with the electrolyte drink. And those are things that you can do. And then making sure that you eliminate and that you're working on your toxins. And doTERRA has such great supplements to help that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
Okay. So she explained that she's a cosmetologist, and in cosmetology, they recommend not removing both hands at once. And I could see where that would be shocking when you're doing,
oh,
you're
that's
cutting hair,
because
totally.
that's because you're working on people and you want to always keep contact with the person. So then you remove one hand and keep the other one on. Is that why? Because I know
Yeah,
in massage school
that
they do
they
that
teach
too.
it. Yeah,
They
but when
tell
you're
you
doing
to-
this to yourself,
When you're
it's
doing it yourself, it doesn't matter.
yes. Okay.
They just
So thank you for explaining.
Yeah, good.
Okay, then let's see. So if you're putting your emails in here, you need to send it to Kathy Joy, and then
KathyJoy.com, and it just, when you come up, it'll say request a lymphatic report, click on that, and then put in your email, and then I'll send you the report. And I'll go in there tonight and I'll send some out tonight, and then then when I'm done sending tonight, if I get more tomorrow, whatever, I'll keep checking in the next couple days, and you'll get it back in your email, a report that you can look at. It comes in a PDF. And then you just open the PDF and do whatever you want with it, look at it or print it, whatever.
yeah. So I'm in Northfield, Minnesota, and Kathy is in Burnsville, Minnesota.
Mhm. And that's
Um,
all South Metro from the major twin cities of Minneapolis, St. Paul. And I'm like 15 minutes from the Minneapolis, St. Paul airport, and Julie's about a half hour, 40 minutes from the airport. in Minneapolis.
Okay, during the vibration plate could stimulate the lymphatic system.
Yes, I like the vibration plate. They used to be called, yeah,
Yes.
that's very good. A lot of people use that. It's great. Even if you just sit on it, that's good.
Yeah.
Any movement. Bouncing, just if you don't have a little mini tramp, you can just bounce yourself.
So you dry brush first and then sauna, and it could be in the morning or it could be at night, whenever would be, but you dry brush first
Before you're
before you
sweaty.
stop, before you're
Yeah.
sweaty.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then you shower after, you
Um,
dry brush. If you're not sauning, if you don't have a sauna, you're not gonna sauna, so you just dry brush and then shower.
okay. All right, great. Someone said they see a difference in their armpits already. Okay, I think I've gotten through all the questions. I don't know if the person on the phone had any questions, but I have scrolled through. I don't.
Yeah, I think you got them all, Julie. Great job.